Oh, it says we're recording. All right, guys, so we're officially starting the group chat. We are recording. And what we're going to do today, because we haven't done one in probably a week or two, is a message negotiation. So, we are going to do a message negotiation. And we're going to do a deep dive breakdown of a message conversation. And the reason we're going to do this is when you get really good at message negotiation, it is a skill set. It's a competitive advantage in and of itself. Because message negotiation is different than regular sales negotiation as far as face-to-face or over the phone. And there's not a lot of good training out there on how to negotiate their messaging. So when you get good at this, this will allow you to beat the competition. This will also allow you to take people that were selling to competitors and get them to sell to you. Part of my business comes from me just putting up ads and generating business on my own and just getting new leads. I'm literally creating business in the space by putting up ads. Part of my business comes from other people that used to sell to competitors, seeing my ads, messaging me, and me being able to say the right words in the right order to get them to start selling items to me. There's one phone flipper, he was telling me he did like over, I don't know, some big numbers a few years ago. And now he says he's told me, he says it's hard. I don't get a lot of phones. Well, why doesn't he get a lot of phones? There's probably a good chance that I've taken his business. And I've had other people tell me that they used to sell to other phone flippers and now they sell to me. So it's, I don't care about taking business from other phone flippers, like, solid repeat business that consistently bring you phones from other people just because I can put up ads and generate business on my own. But it's a nice side effect of being able to get good at message negotiation. You're able to close a lot of people, but then you're also to take a percentage of people that were selling to other people and get them to start selling to you. It's very, very nice. It's a very nice, it's a very good thing to do. The other thing this does is, of course, it just lets you have more confidence in the business. Because when you start off, let's say you're closing, 1 out of 20, 25 people, where you're not making that much money and you're not maintaining profit that much. When you get good at negotiating, which is a skill set, which takes time, by the way, which no one's going to be able to do overnight, but in a few months, if you're consistent with this, you can get very good at message negotiation. I see people usually in a couple months, 1.5 to 3 months, they're horrible at message negotiation. I mean, they're closing like 1 out of 20 people. They're making like barely $50 profit a phone. And then in a couple months, 2-3 months, because they go through all the other trainings in the back office of Next Level, they're putting up ads, they're able to run the numbers and get their skill sets high. They're then able to start closing 2 out of 10 people, if not a little bit more. They're able to retain more profit. They're more confident in making lower offers because they know if the customer gets upset, they can just run through the process of the script, treat them like a level 3, and be able to get a percentage of people back in the, back. So they're able to make more money on items that they get, and they're able to close a higher percentage of leads, and it just has like a double compound effect. It's very good. Now, if you say, Aaron, I've been in Next Level for a few months. My message negotiation is not that good. Well, that's just because you're either not taking enough action, or you haven't gone through enough training. There's not enough consistency. It's something along the lines of that. Even if once you have the blueprint, you still got to go through a few thousand message negotiations to get a feel for it, to be able to test stuff up, to really perfect the skills. But it's nice. I mean, I picked up the last 2 phones I picked up. One phone I made like 250-ish in profit. This next phone right here, I got this Pro Max. This is going to be like 250 to 300 in profit. And she wanted me to come up like $50. And just using, and there's tons of examples of me tweaking people, of also my personal conversations, and not just in the message negotiation section in Next Level. In a lot of group chat replays, I show you guys, I'd say there's probably 15 different group chat replays that's in the back office, in addition to the message negotiation section, of my actual conversations where you see the theory. It's not just a theory, but you see it working in real life. And I mean, she wanted like $40 more, and we negotiated. I think we met in the middle at $20. I could have came up 40 bucks and still made what, like 240, 250 in profit. But understanding these principles, understanding the longevity that I want to be able to, if she comes back with phones in the future, be able to make the same amount of profit. I was a lot more confident than I would have been before, being not just jumping up because, oh, I need to jump up 40 bucks or I'm afraid I'm going to lose the deal, kind of creating a little bit of tension, but coming up a little bit because, you know, instead of me making, I don't know, 310 bucks, I make 280 bucks or something along the lines of that. That's still not bad profit for a used phone. It's very good to do. This it's like when you really get committed in this business and you do everything you're supposed to do, and you see people doing all the things they're supposed to do all the time in Next Level because they're consistently posting big wins in Next Level. It's like you can't just put in like 20-30%. If you put in 20 or 30% in this business, I'm gonna put up some ads every now and then, I'm gonna watch a couple videos. You put in 20%, you're gonna get like 5% back. When you put in like 70-80%, then you get like 95% back. So it's disproportionate. It's disproportionate. You can't just, you can put in like 20-30%. I'm gonna put up ads every now and then. I know I'm supposed to watch 30 minutes of training in the back office. I'm gonna every day, but I'm gonna watch it maybe once or twice a week. If you put in 20, 30, 35%, you're gonna get 5, 10, 15%. It's not going to be proportionate. It's never proportionate. If you just double that though, and you go from 35% to 70%, instead of this goes from getting 15% back, like seeing an improvement of 15%, it doesn't go from getting 15% back to 30%. It goes from getting 15% back. You're seeing an increase in your business by 15%, by seeing an increase by like 85, 90%. So sometimes even 2, 3, 4, 5 times the percent. That's why you see certain people who get serious about this business. And again, guys, you guys can scroll through the group in Next Level for like almost 2.5 years now and see it. You'll see people that consistently struggle. And the reason they consistently struggle is they fart around and they're here. They're in 20, 30%, 10% one day, 35% the next day. People that are serious, they're putting in 60, 70%. I saw this with David Magner, who's a friend of mine that lives like 12 minutes from me. Or I don't know, I think Ant lives 12 minutes. David probably lives closer to 18 minutes. Both of them are full-time phone flippers in the area, by the way. Both of them full-time phone flippers. So I saw it with him, right? He kind of got into Next Level. He probably doesn't care if he tells you this. I don't know. He kind of got into Next Level. I don't think in the beginning he took it that serious, but then he got more serious. He made a decision, and you can do that, right? You can go from a 20 to 30% or someone that's like, they're fucking around. They're not doing the shit they're supposed to be doing, right? And I can tell it in a second. I can tell it in a second by the questions they post and just where they're at. And it's totally fine, right? It's totally fine. Maybe you've been fucking around for a year or two or a few months, but I've seen people, they'll go from here, the 20, 30%, and then all of a sudden, something happens. So somehow they decide to make a change. Somehow they get serious about this business. They decide they're not happy with where they are. They need to get serious. They're not where their life needs to be. They go from 20, 30%, putting up ads every day, going through training, maybe not even every day, 4 or 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, real consistent. They're watching the group chat replays. They're taking action. They start posting questions in the group. And I see the questions. And then as they run into problems, they start posting different questions because they fix these questions. You got to fix these questions and get the answer to these questions to be able to go to the next level. And then guess what happens? Guess what happens? Start picking up phones. They start making money. They start from picking up like 1, 2 phones a week to picking up a phone a day. Sometimes 2 phones a day. They start from making $50, $60 in profit, $80 profit, $100 in profit, $120 in profit. Because they went from here and they went up here. They went from doing 20, 30% to doing 70, 80%, of like their capacity, and they jumped up. Now, some people that get in the next level, they just start right up here. They're like, I'm not fucking around. Some people, though, they get into it and they mess around here a little bit and something happens. Sometimes it's like a couple months. Sometimes it's like a couple years. Sometimes it's 6 months, 8 months, right? It's not like there's a set thing. Everyone's different. But they go from here and they're like, all right, I just need to get back into it. We saw I forget who it was. He's in the back office of Next Level. He talked about he started and stopped. He started and stopped for I think it was 2.5 years. And then it was 6 weeks, or it was 6 weeks or 8 weeks before he came on Next Level's group chat. He just got real serious. He got real serious, started following the blueprint. Don't take my word for it. Go watch the training in the back office. Don't take my word for it. Go watch the training. He'll show it to you it's in one of the group chat replays. And he just started making a bunch of money. I think he made $4,000 or $5,000 in profit that month because he went from here, and he didn't just go right here. He even went a little bit higher. He went a little bit higher. He went from 20-30% to not just 78%. He went 90, 92, 94, 96%. And the results went from here because it went from here to whoop. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. That's what happens. And that's what happens that I've seen with anything. I'll see some people get in another business and they struggle for years because they're here. And then other people get into that business and they go from here to whoop. Right? It's the same thing because it's you put in 20 to 30%. You do 20%, 20 to 30% of the things you're supposed to do. You're going to get 5, 10, 15% of the results. You go from putting in 20 to 30% to doing 70, 80%, and it's always disproportionate. It doesn't go from you getting 15% back to 30%. When you go from here to here, it goes to getting 15 to 30%. You go from 15% to getting 90% back, or 150, or 200, or 350, or 400. That's why you'll see people that'll get in and they'll start making a lot of money. Or they're making $500 a month, and then 2.5 months later, they're at $5,000. They increase their business by 500%. But it's good to know this because once you know this, you can say, all right, I've been here, right? I'm not doing the things. It's very easy to see, right? But Aaron, I'm in Next Level and I'm in all the other Facebook groups. Aaron, I joined all the other Facebook groups and I want to make a lot more money. All right, well, what's that have to do with anything? Are you putting in the work daily? I can join a gym member. I can join the fanciest gym that there is. And I can hire a nutritionist. And I can have an accountability coach. And I can do all these things, but if I'm not actually going to the gym, if I'm not actually taking the right actions to work out and I'm not being consistent and I'm not eating the food, would you guys expect me to all of a sudden get in better shape? Of course not. Of course not. This is a standard law of the universe, but it's very good to be aware of this stuff. Very good to be aware of this stuff. So message negotiation is one of those things, though, that we need to master that's going to go from here to here. And it's not going to happen overnight. Message negotiation, very strange. It's like learning a third language. It's different than normal communication with friends and family. It's different than it's like its own. I don't want to say it's kind of like learning a new language. It's strange. It's foreign. It's got different rules that govern it than just like regular communication, right? So me and Jordan are hanging out and we're catching up. We haven't seen each other in a while. It's a different type of dialect. It's a different structure. It's a different feel. Message negotiation is different rules. So to understand the rules, to get the outline of everything that's needed, and then to be able to take action and test out the different things and get the feel for it, that can take a month or 2 or sometimes 3. It will obviously take a lot longer if you're down here and you're not up here. But once you get it, you have the skill sets forever. And you'll be able to use these skill sets to persuade people for the rest of your life, to sell, to negotiate, and other things. You'll hear people talk about that they use this to get a discount on a car, right? The last time they bought a car, they got, $500 off, but they use some of these things, these negotiating strategies, because they're universal. They got, $3,500 off the car. So they saved an extra $3,000. And also this just helps you out with good communication because, let's say you got a friend and there's details about the conversation you're not sure about. Well, now we know that we could ask them a question. We could ask them a question to get more information. So this will help out your overall communication for the rest of your life with other people, because it's just understanding kind of language and communication along with selling and negotiating. It's standard. There's also communication. So you can use it when you're at the gas station. You can use it when you're talking to your significant other. You can use it when you're, just, hanging out with friends and family. It's very good. It's very good. There's a lot of benefits that come with this. So let's go ahead. Did we start recording? Oh, yes, we started recording. You guys don't care if we don't record this group chat, though, do you? It's not that big of a deal. There's probably been, I don't know, what would you guys say? Maybe a dozen group chats that I haven't recorded over time. So let's go ahead and get back into it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Should we even do this? Oh, okay. Well, oh boy. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. I don't even know if I should. All right. Oh, okay. Whew. All right. Well, at least we got that taken care of. I was a little bit anxious, team. I was a little bit nervous. So, but thankfully, Sam already laid it all out, and my fear can be put to rest. So, message negotiation rules. We have RWOCM. We got the 3 levels, negotiating 4 parts of an effective counteroffer. 3rd grade reading level. We got to communicate clearly to them. We can't be using big words. I need the IMEI so I can run it on SICW to determine if it's blacklisted or not. Well, guys, that is over their heads. We're going to ask 3 questions max before we make the offer. We're always going to be closing. We're going to be doing micro steps. We're going to be saying 1 idea per message. Why do we send 1 idea per message? Has anyone here ever asked a customer? Anyone here ever asked a customer a question where there were 2, you were asking the customer 2 questions in 1 question? What company was the phone? Any problems with it? These are 2 different questions. Maybe, what's the color of the phone and how many gigabytes is it? What company is the phone with and how many gigabytes? 2 questions in a message, or sometimes 3. And the customer only answered 1 question. They only answered 1 question. AT&T. Now you got to go back. We got to ask the question again. It makes us seem a little bit desperate. This was too confusing to the customer anyway, so it could have aggravated them, a little bit agitated. So the reason we have this is 1 idea per message. Any problems with it? That is 1 idea, 1 question per message. Customer. Nope. Us. Okay, great. Which company is it with? If we got to ask a few questions, which is totally normal, totally natural, makes complete sense. We break it up. 1 idea per message. Any problems with it? Nope. Okay, great. Which company is it with? AT&T. So that's why we do 1 idea per message. We're going to lead by asking questions. Hard, medium, soft offers, bleeding effect. That's true. That's right. Oh, yeah, guys, don't ever pull out prematurely, because that could cause problems. And then we're just going to do it. We're just going to make the offer. And maybe we could do let's do some advanced. Let me ask you guys kind of an advanced question, because this is good to know if you're beginning, if you're just starting off, if you're in the middle, or if you're advanced. No, that was not what I was trying to type out. Beginning, medium, advanced. So we make the offer. Customer says, that seems a little too low. I'll pass. Before we make the counteroffer, so we make the offer. Us, I can give you $300 for it. We make the counteroffer. Customer says, that seems a little bit too, oh, I'm sorry. We make the first offer, guys. This is the first offer. First offer, I can give you $300 for it. The customer, that seems a little low. a little too low, I'll pass. The customer says no. Before we make the counteroffer, we always have to get a dollar amount the customer wants for their phone. So before we go into the 4 parts, you have a great phone. It's just because. Would you do any less today with cash? Before we go into that, we always have to get a dollar amount the customer wants for their phone. Why is this important? Why do we have to get a dollar amount that the customer wants for their phone? Why is this important? Why do we have to get a dollar amount that the customer wants for their phone before we can go into, we have a great phone, intent. It's just because the new iPhones coming out in a few months. You have a great phone. Just because the new iPhones are coming out in a few months, the price of the Pro Maxes has dropped. Any less, if I meant today, have dropped a bit. Would you do any less if I met you today with cash? Before we do this, we always have to get a dollar amount from the customer. And we do it, Sam says to re-engage them. Guys, we got to re-engage them. And also, we got to have a dollar amount, customer. Doesn't matter what the customer says. We have to get the customer to commit to a dollar amount before we can negotiate with them. This is a beginner and it's a medium and intermediate mistake where we make the offer. Awesome, I can give you $300 for it. Customer, that seems a bit low, I'll pass. And the phone flipper says, you have a great phone, it's just because just because the new iPhones are coming out in a few months, the price of the Pro Maxes have dropped, and they make maybe like a medium offer. Or maybe they make a hard offer, okay? So they would say, looks like I've dropped a bit. Would you do $800 if I met you today with cash? It's always premature. We always have to get a dollar amount from the customer because we have to figure out the dollar amount the customer wants. What does the customer want? What does the customer want? When the customer says a dollar amount, it shows that they're committed to the convo, which re-engages them like Sam says, but also it gets us a starting point. We can't start negotiating until we have a dollar amount of what they want. How could you negotiate? How would it be possible to negotiate with the customer? Okay, negotiating says we want to pay $600. Customer wants $1,000. There is a $400 price difference here. So negotiating is trying to get the customer down. Let's Google negotiating definition. Google says, discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. The example is a worldwide ban is currently under negotiating. Discussion aimed at reaching an agreement. So we want to have a discussion to reach an agreement that we're both happy with. How can we have that if we don't know what the customer wants? We know what we want to pay for it. We're missing what the customer wants. That's why we got to get the dollar amount that the customer wants from them. In addition to the fact that getting the dollar amount helps re-engage them and shows that the customer is at least somewhat engaged because they got to stop, they got to go in their mind, and they're also following to our dialect, or it's called like our frame. They're kind of agreeing with what we're saying. Not with what we're saying, but they're agreeing with our question, which it shows a little bit of compliance, which is good. It says that, okay, the customer, how much do I want for my phone? Well, I paid $1,200 for it. It is slightly used. I think $1,000 would be a good price. It doesn't matter what they say. We just have to get the dollar amount. The customer says $1,000. We want to pay $300 in this example. It doesn't matter. We want to pay $300. The customer wants that. We're going to $1,000. So there's a $700 price difference. Now that we got a dollar amount from the customer, now we can start the negotiating. We can't negotiate. We can't have a discussion aimed at reaching an agreement until we know what the customer wants. An agreement means that it's agreement for both parties. It's agreement for us. It's agreement for the customer. We can't have that. We're missing that. It's premature. So that's why we always get a dollar amount. The customer, $1,000. All right, now we're far apart in price. Now we can go to negotiating. Now we know because we're far apart in price, the first counter offer that we're going to make in the 4 parts is going to be a soft offer. It's going to be a soft offer. Would you do any less? And sometimes the customer comes down. Maybe they come down a little bit, and then we can go back and forth. It doesn't matter how far down we come. We go back and forth. We're starting the convo. And even if we don't close the deal, which a lot of phones we're not going to close, what it does is because we've made multiple offers, if we are going to pull out, we don't pull out till we make multiple offers. If we do pull out, we've been professional. We've worked them down in price. The chances, because, let's say we have really good negotiating. We go back and forth 6 times, and we get the customer down $800. We get the customer down to $800. And we could come up. We made an okay, hold on now, guys. The direct buyer is paying $650. Let's say the direct buyer is paying $650. So direct buyer, it's bad ESN. We got the IMEI. We actually got to sell it as bad ESN. Direct buyer is paying $650. So we got the customer, 6 offers in. We got customer to $800. We got him down from $1,000 to $800. Direct buyer is paying $650. So the most we could probably pay is $500. We initially offered $300. Guys, why did we initially offer $300? First of all, what type of offer is that? 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 Direct buyer's paying $650, and the first offer was $300. Oh, snaps! It is an Illuminati lowball offer. Guys, this is called an Illuminati lowball offer. Jesse is right. It is a lowball, but when it gets too low, it transforms. It goes from a regular lowball to an Illuminati lowball. Very good. Very good. That's absolutely right. So we get the customer down to, okay, we're 6 offers in. We have really good negotiating. We got the customer down from $1,000 to $800. The direct buyer's paying $650. Maybe we came up to like $500. Okay, so we came up to $500. So in theory, because we're trying to retain profit, because our pipeline's full, because we're living in abundance, because we have good negotiating, because we're being consistent, because we're doing 70, 80, 90% of what we should be doing. We're not at 20 or 30% like we talked about before in group chat. So we could still come up a little bit, right? We could come up $50. We leave the convo. Oh, I lost out on the deal. I tried really hard. I lost out on the deal. Well, did you lose out on the deal? Do you think any other competitors in your area are going to have the negotiating you have, as long as you're following all the stuff we talk about, where you made 6 offers, you were very professional, you re-engaged them, and even after 8 offers, you got them down to 800, and you did the, you left it on good terms. All right, no worries. Yeah. Right. And maybe they said, maybe you asked them, maybe you hit them with a medium and a soft, and they stayed at 800. So they stayed at 800 a couple times. So they're probably not going down. Customer, 800, that's my bottom dollar. And this is the 6th offer. So you've stayed in the convo. No worries. Keep my offer in mind. If anything changes or you're willing to come down a bit, reach out. Okay? keep my offer in mind, and if anything changes and you're willing to come down a bit, right? The way we leave the convo with this customer is going to determine if they're going to come back to us or not. It's going to determine how many people come back to us. If we just are kind of an asshole after we've made 6 offers and built up some rapport with them, yeah, man, can't do it. Have a good day. Phone flipper 1, phone flipper 1. After 6 offers, after following a script, they live it. Yeah, man, I can't do it. Have a good day. Phone flipper number 2. Phone flipper 2 leaves the convo. No worries, you have a great phone. I'm sorry, I just can't pay that much for it. Do me a favor, though. Keep my offer in mind, and if anything changes and you're willing to come down a bit, let me know. I'm not selling, and I'm doing things, besides the fact I'm being nice here, I'm doing things here to strategically keep it open so it's easy for him to come back. I've actually implanted something. Willing to come down a bit. I'm not saying you have to come down to my low offer. I'm saying you're willing to come down a bit. What's the customer think when you say this? Oh, well, maybe he came up in price a little bit already. I came down a little bit already. Maybe I'll be able to come down a little bit and he'll come up a little bit more. So, you know, the way you leave the convo matters. So I'm doing things like this to kind of keep it open, kind of keep them interested, keep them intrigued, along with everything else. The way you leave the convo, even after good negotiating, is very important. Now, my question for you is, the other phone flippers in your area, he's going to reach out to other phone flippers. You guys think the other phone flippers are going to communicate like this? No. Now, we're assuming that they're following the scripts, they're doing all the stuff we talk about, they made 6 good offers. No, they're not going to do this. So the chances of them getting them down as low as $800 like you did is slim to none, okay? If you don't believe me, go look at other phone flippers in your, go to Craigslist, go get their numbers, send them messages and try to negotiate with them. 9 times out of 10, guys, their negotiating sucks. Not like it's okay. I'm not talking like 50%. I'm talking like it's shit's like 15%. I'm like wondering, I guess they're just taking enough action and putting up enough ads, or maybe they're just doing it part-time, or, you know, maybe they're just picking up 1 phone a week. It's very bad. So what we're doing here is, even if they're very tough and they're not coming down, the chances of them going back to you and not someone else is higher. Are they going to come back all the time? No. Are they going to maybe decide to keep their phone? Yeah, there's going to be a percent. You know what? I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to keep it. You know what? I was going to sell it, but 2 days later, mom broke her phone. She was going to go buy a new phone. I have a phone, so I actually gave it to mom. Right? So it's not like when they don't sell it back to us that they're selling it to the competitor. There's a bunch of other things that could happen with this. But we have a very good chance of, if they come back to us, or if they're going to sell to a phone flipper, they're going to come back to us. They're going to come back to us because we left it open like this, and we made multiple offers. They're going to think about us more because we stayed and had a conversation with them, and we were professional than all the other phone flippers out there that probably were not good at negotiating. When I say probably, I'm talking like a very, very high percentage of the time. So that's important to understand. And sometimes, like we've talked about before, you just got to have time for some of these tough guys. Sometimes they think that they're going to get $800 for their phone. 3 days go by. They've gotten people that have given them all sorts of excuses. Some people said they're willing to pay the $800, but, you know, they want to give them $25 now and a half-smoked cigarette and some gum that was stuck to the bottom of the McDonald's table. And then they want to make $25 payments every 2 weeks for the next decade and a half till the $800 is paid off. So us being able to meet them with cash today is a little bit more intriguing than this type of offer right here. than $800 with terms. Than $800 with terms. Very important to understand this. Very important to understand this. And then, of course, after a few days, we might be able to reach out to them. We might be able to reach out to them and we say, hey, you know, just wanted to check in. Is everything going good? And they might say, They might come down a little bit, or you might have to work on them a little bit. I've had it. There was a guy that I used to work with, and I think I had to follow up. I think it was like 2.5 months. It was like 2.5 months where like he didn't sell me his phone. It was like 2.5. I mean, it might have been longer. We like would follow up. I mean, there would be like weeks that would go by, and then I would like follow up with him, and they wouldn't change. And I don't know. I guess he like really wanted to get the amount he thought he was going to get. Maybe he had it listed on Marketplace. He said something along the lines of, no one was willing to pay me what I wanted for it, so I just sold it to you, which could happen, right? Right? Some people, they get distracted by small stuff. He was trying to make another $200, and he spent hours and hours and hours negotiating, people flaking on him. You know what? Some people hit a turning point. You know what? I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to sell it to that Aaron Goldstein guy. It's going to be $200 less, but he sounds really serious because he's persistent and professional. I'm just going to be fucking done with it. People do things like that. Did anyone here ever buy Next Level like that? Was anyone here ever like, I don't want to spend $700 or whatever the price was to get in the Next Level. I don't want to spend it. I see the testimonials. I want to make more money. I am fucking pissed off. I'm not going to spend it. One day, I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to spend the money and I'm going to be done with it. That's the exact same thing that someone's like, shit, Aaron, that was me. How do you know that? How do you know that? That was me. I'm not going to tell it to you, Aaron. Guys, I love you guys. I do the same thing, so I don't care. I'm a human just like you guys are, right? But the customers will do the same thing. They'll get to points where they will snap, and I'm done with this. I'm getting rid of the phone, and who are they going to sell to? Are they going to sell to the phone flipper that made a hard offer and was an asshole and was kind of an idiot? Or are they going to sell to you, the professional that did the multiple offers, that exited the combo correctly, followed up with them after a few days? Hey, just checking in. Is your phone still for sale? Yes. Okay, cool. Just wanted to see. Okay, cool. No, I'm still here, and I want to buy it. I want to buy it. Take any less than this could be worded better. I'm just kind of saying it. But you guys just still kind of get the feel for, okay, cool. I'm still here and wanted to buy it. Just wanted to see if you would take any less than the 800. Customer, no, I really need the 800 for bills. No worries. Let's check in. Oh, shit. You wouldn't do like 525 on it? Like 525. Man, we're gonna make the customer big ass, not big, but very tough. No, I can't. 800, my lowest amount. Us. No worries. No worries. I just wanted to check in. And if anything changes, just keep me in mind. All right, so we follow up every now and then. Guys, after you've worked on them, who's he going to sell to? Is he going to hit up the one phone flipper that made a hard offer and exited? He's going to hit you guys. He's going to hit you up. That's how this works right here. Anyway, we got like 20 minutes left, so let's go ahead and do the message negotiation. Save image. All right. Is Jerome on the call? I see a Jordan. I see an Arthur. I see Chris C. I see Dave Magner. I see a Kennedy, Jesse, Levinsky, Mustafa, Nathan, Noberto. No problem. We're going to do it anyway. Are you interested in my phone? Nathan says I'll get him. Nathan, you don't have to get him, man. He knows we're doing the group chat. We're going to do his conversation anyway. Are you interested in my phone? But thanks for saying something. We don't have to get them. It's and maybe if the screen records it, there might even be a replay. Are you interested in my phone? Yes, I am. What type of cell phone are you selling? Well, look at that. That's some good stuff right there. Yes, I am. Jerome saying, yes, I am. He's getting right into business. He's leading by asking a question. What type of cell phone are you looking to sell? One idea per message, 3rd grade reading level. Beautiful, beautiful. iPhone XX Max or iPhone XX 256 gigabyte. 1 minute later, now there was a 2.5 hour difference. So there was a 2. He hit you up at 7:05. You hit him up at 9:34. Might have been good to say, oh, sorry, just saw this. And yes, I am. Okay? You know, some people, they get a little chip on their shoulder. What the hell? I fucking hit you up 2.5 hours ago. You know, what's going on? They don't know that you woke up or you slept until 3 o'clock like I did. You know, I woke up today at like 2:59 in the afternoon. iPhone XX 256 gigabyte. iPhone, okay, blah, 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 blah. He said 2 phones? Okay, we like that. Is he selling 2 phones? What's going on? No, just one iPhone X. Okay, great. Anything wrong with it? So I like that, okay? Jerome, Mr. Jones did not know if there was 2 phones or 1 phone. So what's going on? Is he selling 2 phones? He said 1 phone right here. Are you interested in my phone? But he put 2 phones here. Well, what do we do in this situation? We must ask a question. We must ask a question so we can get some more details. We must ask a question. 2 phones? Beautiful. Beautiful. That's very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Keeping it short, 2 phones. Might have been good to have a space there, but that's just, we're splitting hairs. That does not matter really at all. Nope, just 1 iPhone X. Okay, great. We love that. Okay, great. A little bit of, we got to do things like that. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Things like that. We don't do it all the time, but I recommend about half the time when you're asking questions. It keeps it kind of positive, keeps it kind of fresh. Okay, great. Anything wrong with it? Guys, what did I just do? Guys, I'm not sure. Okay. Anything wrong with it? Nope, it's basically brand new. I just got an iPhone 11 the same day. I don't need it. What company is it with? Unlocked any carrier. Okay. Who here sees the first problem? Not the first. This is not a big deal, but this is still an issue that should be addressed. Anyone? Anyone at all? Let's pull up the other combo. One question, 2 questions, 3 questions. Four questions, 5 questions. One question, 2 questions, 3 questions, 4 questions. We're at 5 questions. If we go back to the rules of message negotiation, we're going to ask 3 questions max before making an offer, if at all possible. And for the carrier, I like to ask the carrier, any problems is the first question. Any problems is the first question, because that's more important. The carrier or the company, we know we're supposed to call it a company. You and me, we call it carriers. With customers, we call it company. Company is the second question, because it's not as important, and we can always appraise it as Sprint Bad ESN. Matter of fact, a lot of the phones I buy now, I don't even ask what company it is. I figure out the problem, and I make the first offer as Sprint Bad ESN. Make the first offer as Sprint Bad ESN from a direct buyer's price sheet or on Google or on eBay. Not Google, eBay. Because the rule with RWOCM says if we Customer reaches out to us. If we ask too many questions, if we stay here, it slows it down. It aggravates the customer. We're making the customer think too much. That's a problem. We cannot be asking the customer to think too much. Levinsky says, is there a link to the negotiating rules? It's in the back office, Levinsky. In the negotiating section, it's in the script. It is in the script. It's like the script part 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all covered. I don't know if there's like a, I don't know if I have it written on there or not. I think I purposely put it in the videos because I want people to actually go through the videos and like really absorb it. But if you want to like have it, I just copy what I would do is I would just copy what Sam put in the chat because I think those are pretty much all the rules. I was just like, you could just copy that and like print it out and save it because it would be good to have. That is a good question. It would probably be good to have because then you can look at it, right? If you look at it kind of daily and you go through it, it kind of gets all those things ingrained because as we know, Levinsky, there's more than 1 or 2 rules. There's a bunch of rules. So it actually would not be a bad idea to kind of have even a printout of it. Keep it next to the 4 steps to do 4 steps to $10,000 to $20,000. That way you can kind of just get okay, 3 levels, 4 parts, and then you could make notes, right? Mustafa says, I think it's written below in one of the videos, and it could be there as well. I'm not 100% sure, but you guys see where it's and the customer might get a little aggravated. It was never connected to phones from Apple. The customer might not be getting upset, but we better be safe than sorry. 3 questions, Sprint bad ESN, and that's that. Because it can start to aggravate the customer, we're making the customer think too much. That's a problem. Save. So I'd be appraising it as Sprint bad ESN. Get the IMEI later. Definitely not. Are you serious? All right, guys. Level 1, 2, or 3. Level 1, 2, or 3. Definitely not. Are you serious? Definitely a level 3. So, according to the script that's in the back office at Next Level, how do we handle a level 3? Us. Oh, I'm sorry. You said it was an iPhone. Well, that might not make complete sense because we said, so a better, oh, I'm sorry. It's unlocked for any company directly from Apple, right? What is the customer going to say? Yes, us. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I skimmed through the... You can even see. Sorry about that. I skimmed through the message too fast. To be honest, I need more unlocked iPhones. Sorry about that. I skimmed through the messages too fast. That is a great phone, and to be honest, I need more unlocked iPhones. How much were you looking to get for it? Another detail we should point out. I'm sorry about that. I skimmed through the message too fast. That's a great phone, and to be honest, I need more unlocked iPhones. I'm not going to say, to be honest, I need more iPhones. I'm going to say, to be honest, I need more unlocked iPhones. Why? Because this was the mistake that I made. I made it in the fake example, the excuses that we're making up. My realization was, oh, it's unlocked. So I'm not going to say I need more iPhones. That would not make sense. That would be kind of silly. Give me a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. In this part right here, I'm not going to say I need more iPhones. That doesn't fall into the narrative. That doesn't fall into the story. That doesn't fall into the conversation. Oh, I'm sorry. It's unlocked for any company directly from Apple, right? Yes, because I'm using unlocked as the kind of thing here for the excuse. That's what I'm also going to use here. Very important. Is that David Magner eating chips again? I'm just kidding. You guys see I make jokes. I'm just kidding. I saw it wasn't even David on mute. See, Aaron, was anyone else think that's funny? Okay, maybe it's just me. So, so, it is very important. We're going to be congruent. We're going to be congruent. How much were you looking to get for it? Customer's going to say 10,000 Illuminati bucks. Okay, it doesn't matter what the price is. We get a price from them. Then we hit them with a medium offer, or actually we probably hit them with a soft offer. And then we do a medium offer and we work my way down. Definitely not. Are you serious? He's a level 3. Some of you guys said a level 4. He's definitely a 3. It's a great phone. To be honest, I need more iPhone X's. How much were you looking to get for it? Is this response a level 2 or a level 3? The guy's a level 3, but you responded with a level 2. Absolutely. Mustafa said 2. It's definitely a 2. Nate the Great said 2 is definitely a 2. So that's not the correct response. Thank you, Nate. Oh, I'm sorry. The phone is 256 gigabytes. So he's trying to give you a little something, right? He's trying to give you a little something. He's trying, and it can be risky. If they're a level 3 and you respond with a level 2 or 1, sometimes they'll still entertain you because they want the deal. But sometimes they hit you with it, you know what, it's okay, or they'll just stop responding. So because we want to close as many deals as possible, we always respond with a level 3 as a level 3. And also, they could have a little resistance right here. They could have a little resistance. Yeah, you know, he gave you the laughing emoji. He says the phone is 256 gigabyte. Okay, he said at least 400. So he's giving you a little something. He's trying to kind of sell the value on it a little bit. But also, we don't know what he could be thinking. His thought process could be, I'm going to try to stay with this, but the guy's is kind of an asshole. It's a great phone. He says at least 400. Now, this might... Says it's a great phone. I just buy and sell and need to make a little profit. So this is a hard offer. This is another mistake. We do not do hard offers as the first counter offer when dealing with a level 3. This all comes directly from the script video in the back office, or it's one of the parts. It's one of the parts. Guys, this is sorry, I can't. It's worth too much. The guy's actually being nice. He says, sorry, I can't. It's a great phone. Would you do any less if I make today? I can do 350, the lowest. And even that is really low. So now the one thing, even though I did just kind of beat Mr. Jones up a little bit, there's one thing Jones is doing that's very good. Jones is staying in the convo, which is very good. Very good. And staying in the convo will trump everything else. But staying in the convo, if you don't have good negotiating, the conversations go longer, they're a little bit more dicey, and you got to run a lot more numbers because you won't close as many people. So it's important to do both. I tell you the story of my cousin. He's in Next Level, and he was making an offer, and this was before we had the 3 levels and the 4 parts. This was like back in the day when you had to take a horse and carriage to go get a phone. And he was like, the guy wanted like 600, and my cousin was like, I'll give you 400 for it. And the guy's like, no, I need 600. My cousin's like, I understand. I can give you 400. And the guy was like, you know what? I can do 550. That's my lowest. And my cousin just kept repeating the same shit. He goes, I understand, but I can give you 400. And the guy's like, 525. That's my lowest. And the guy's like, 500, but that's my lowest top dollar, lowest bottom dollar. My cousin's like 400. And the guy's like, you know what? Fucking fine. Just take it for $400. That was pretty much, it's not word for word, but that's pretty much what happened. The negotiating was horrible, but he still got the deal because he stayed in the convo. What we want to do, though, is we want to combine very effective, good message negotiating with that persistence that my cousin had, which will allow us to close the highest percentage of deals while retaining the most profit as possible. So I can't. It's way too much. It's a great phone. Would you do any less than made today? No, sorry. Do 300, my lowest. And even that is really low. I'm wondering what these sell for. What a Sprint one of these sell for and what an unlocked one. Either way, in this part, I would get the IMEI. I would get the IMEI to see if it's unlocked or not. Well, Nathan, the guy says it's unlocked, but we don't know it's unlocked. I would get the IMEI. We've made a few offers. It's time to get the IMEI. Get the IMEI. Run it. That way you can see. Just 2 days, and I have a lot of buyers. Are you interested? Yes, I am. Will you pay $300? What's this? How long have you been trying to sell the phone? I have a lot of buyers. Well, I have a lot of buyers. And this can be good after some time. You know what? Let's just see what these are going for. We're just going to go below. Zelly Belly. Oh, Zelly Belly did not pull up Zellphone's price sheet. Well, let's do something else. Let's do what we talked about in last group's chats. iPhone X 256 GB unlocked. Whoa, guys, whoa. X. Unlocked. We're going to go to sold. Guys, why can't I make this bigger? Maybe there's a way to filter by 256 or whatever that is. All right, so we got 400, 400. So my guess is a sell for about 400. So we could pay for what? About 2. Well, this is like a B grade phone, so we could probably pay 300 for this. We could probably play. Let's do the math on it. We sell for 400, probably a little bit more. I might maybe even 410 on Swappa. But 400, all you're going to do is pay PayPal fees, which is 12. That's $12. We're going to pay a few dollars for shipping. We'll do $5 for shipping. And I forget there's like the Swappa has their little fee, so I don't know what it is. Let's do $15. So that means that it would sell for about, after fees, about 370. 370. So we could pay 300. Okay? This is not, guys, this is an iPhone X. It's been out for a couple years. This is not like a Pro Max that we need to make $100 on. It's okay making $70. So we could actually do 300. We'd want to get the IMEI, do the checks, but if it's unlocked and we can sell it as clean, sell it on. This guy sold it for $429. This guy sold it for $400. This guy sold it for $380. This guy sold it for $4. Oh, that's a 64 gigabyte. Wow, this is 64 gigabyte. 64 gigabytes are going for about $380. So it's my guess is we're going to get it for about $400, $410. We can go up to $300. Now, where were we at with this? Will you pay $350? Any reason why he's getting back to negotiating? And you're asking a question. If I always stay in the numbers, unless it's like I don't know. I don't think there's been a time in a long time I haven't just negotiated on price. But you're asking why I haven't sold yet. He's only had it for 2 days. It's only been out for 2 days. You're probably okay. I'm gonna try to ask him why it hadn't sold yet, and I'm gonna ask him questions to get him to tell me why it hadn't sold yet. But he's going back to price. Will you pay $300 for it? So negotiate with him. And what was the last offer we made? Hey, well, you're at 220. Why are we doing 220? We could come up a little bit. Okay? I mean, you're 20. Will you pay $350? We would love it, just the market doesn't. Okay. If things change, let me know. My offer is always on the table. Well, he did this. You should have made a counter offer. You should have came up a little bit. You're at 220. He's at 350. My guess is if you came up to 260, he would have probably dropped a little bit. You might have been able to get it for 280. But you got it for 220. What were we doing at 220? We could come up. Even I would take that. And I like big profits. But on an iPhone that's been out for a couple years, you know, that's a B-grade phone. I would get the IMEI to verify it. And then if everything checks out, shoot. I mean, get it for 280. Pay 300 for it. Get it for 300. Get it for 300. Sell it on Swappa. Oh, thanks, guys. You guys sent me the sheet. Guys, so that is that. Anyway, guys, that's what I got for you guys. I'm going to end the group chat and go get some food. But it was good. We went. What was good about this is we touched on, we did the negotiating of Jones. which, by the way, Jones, thanks for posting that, because it allows all of us to learn and grow together. And it allows us, even us professionals that have been doing this for a while, to go over important things. And fundamentals is always good. But then we went over a couple other scenarios, which was good as well, which is good because wherever we're at, we can all get value from it. We can, all right, I'm going to do these things. So very good. You guys know I love it when I post message negotiate, or when you guys post message negotiations. Thanks for saying something, guys. You guys have a fantastic day.